The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of City World Media LLC or its affiliates. All shows are produced with full participant consent. City World Media does not claim ownership of any third-party music featured and uses all tracks only with proper permissions or licenses granted by their respective rights holders. City World Media operates in accordance with fair use and digital broadcast guidelines on all platforms. From my city to your world, we are City World. Thank you for watching.
You wanna walk in these shoes, it's heartbreaking, back aching. No domes for the loyalty, morally shaken. It's gotten sadder here. Immobility out the stratosphere. When I appear, burn it to ashes and leave them scattered here. The finisher first, the minister cursed with a sinister verse that's quenching your thirst. The feet is 6'1", show no gun. Still a martial artist who pushed his cart the hardest. Blade always been the sharpest. I'm so obsidian, the fool is who I'm pitying. They tickle me pink, and that's what they look pretty in. That 80s talk, so the babies can walk. It's a shocker, kinda mystical, but still ain't my fault. The birth got defected, blame it on her. Said she wrecked it, I interjected, blame it on singles, replacing records, make a body of work to put that body to work. See that type of wind lifts the bottom of skirts, indecent exposure. So many soldiers in the battlefield. It's chamomile, call up Sophia. We need a battle drill. Pop life got us shook up more than Canfields. A Prince revolution is now. We at a standstill. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. So many breadcrumbs I finally picked up. I'm getting fed from. It's cumbersome when you just shining. Haters red rum. I jack for every nickel and sun. Screaming here's Johnny. Written words folding the paper like it was origami. No beef or salami, just me and self-born. Making noise in Paris, call it a French horn. Fruits of my labor is ripe. I'm a black thorn in the side of negative energy till it transforms. It's good vibes, be warned if you ain't got the chakra. This hip-hop is opera on the island like Sumatra. Once it gets you, I got you. That's the infomercial. Not a semicircle, simply put it's transversal. So we gon' cross some lines and give them angles. Make them pin up our banner, we star spangled. Everybody hold on tight till it's strangled. I fashion myself out the box and newfangled. This song is for the hearing impaired. It's a Def Jam. I'm the rapper, he's the DJ, the left and right hand. 2 turntables, a mic, maybe a mic stand. Never plain, nothing but soul when we crash land. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. Allow me to get my rhyme on. Every word is God driven. 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 Every word is God driven.
What's good? What's good? What's goody? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie, man. Check it out, man. We got another special episode of the one and only B-Boys Underground, brought to you by myself and my brothers that couldn't be here with us tonight. My co-hosts, G-Fresh, Mad Ways and Big Weez, but we got the one and only Olskool Ice-Gre in the house with us tonight. Looking forward to this one. Tapping back in to let us know what's going on with everything adult contemporary hip-hop and his new project, Songs About Girls. Looking forward to getting into this one. Been listening to this one. It's a super dope EP. Can't wait to get the information from the man himself about that. And with that being said, without further ado, like we always do about this time, we got the one and only Olskool Ice-Gre in the house. What's goody, fam? Uh-oh, hold on, you're muted. Let's see here. What's on? There you go.
Okay, so you had me muted.
There you go, you're unmuted now, fam.
Okay, y'all, they can hear me now. The people hear me.
You. They got you loud and clear.
What's good with you, Ghost? How you feeling?
Man, I'm great, man. How are you, fam?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, moving and shaking. You know, doing the abstract thing to the solo efforts. You know, it's still a team effort, even when it's just one of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. One of us, all of us together, right?
That's right. One for all. The two musketeers. But we self-born a musketeer too. That's our DJ. So it's three.
Shout out. How is EP?
Man, EP all good. I was talking to EP a few minutes ago, like a little earlier before this podcast. You know, EP, man. You know, she in the shy, holding it down.
Shout out to EP, the Hellcat, man.
Yes, sir. Hellcat is always in the building.
Much love to her, man. Yeah. Got to be one of my most favorite female MCs out there.
I know why. I know why.
Look, man.
Yeah, EP is EP a different animal. Like that Kobe commercial, a different animal. Like she's different, man. Like, a lot of people try to gravitate towards who's a dope female MC. Mm-hmm. Now EP is different. She always been different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, she's just like, you don't put her in a box like just.
She's not even in she's just an MC, really. I mean, it's a handful who gets that salute. That's like you got to separate them and just call them just the MC. EP is one of those.
Absolutely. Much love to her, man. So. Yes. Last time we had you was with the update, when you had you and EP were on, and
for the record, right?
Yeah,
For the
art gallery,
the art project,
the art project.
Yes, the art project. Yes,
which I love.
Shout out to young RJ. Yeah,
young RJ killed it, man. As always, like always killing it, man.
Yeah, man. And that album not even a year old. So, people still download and the art project and vibe out because it's not even 1 year old yet,
And I play that a lot. Is that beeping on your end?
Oh, my bad. That was me. I was hitting a button.
I was like,
what am I doing? I know I'm tripping.
I don't know what that button. It's like this beeping ain't me, fam. No, we're good.
The buttons.
Push the button. That's a good song. Shout out to Kano on them. No, man, man, it's good to hear. But and you reached out. I appreciate you. Like, hey, man. When we gonna do a show about?
I want to talk about songs about girls, man. I gotta talk about this EP.
We gotta get it. We gotta get it in. So I the question I have is. We'll start off with this. Why was songs about girls the right project to make at this point in your life and career?
Yeah, man. So, just like the video that started off everything, that was from the first installment of my adult contemporary hip hop series. It was called Y'all Ready for Some Hip Hop. That was the one I did with DJ Self-Born. Abstract Mindstate's tour DJ. You know what I'm saying? So that EP with him was just, y'all ready for some hip hop, straight up hip hop, boom baps. We get into it, lyrics, beats, nothing, no color besides just drums, beats, and rhymes,
Yes.
And then I bounced into the second installment that I did with my man Day _ who was down with my Honest Music. And that was the uncompromising path of the nice guy. And that installment number 2 was very cinematic. Day is like one of those producers that know how to make a record sound really big and dramatic. Mm-hmm. So that was my moment to like come off like I was creating a movie score. You know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to those records, they all have this sort of cinematic feel, and each one of them you kind of say, you know what, I can hear that on in a movie, or I can hear that, it sounds like parts of a movie, and that's how I built the stories around the that kind of energy. And then we come to songs about girls.
Yes.
And it was time, and I got with my man Excel, who is a platinum Grammy winning producer who came from the whole. He worked with like Bone Thugs and a bunch of people. He worked with Wayne and
that's what I was getting ready to ask people, you. Like
he worked with a bunch of people. And
how'd you like?
The point is, right, Excel. I linked up with Excel through another just a business opportunity that was presented to me to be a part of a streaming platform. And Excel is one of the creators of this streaming platform, and they brought me on. You will see that I'm associated with something called Eclipse Distro, and Eclipse Distro, Eclipse Distro. So I'm on there as like their head of artist development and stuff like that. And that's how I met Excel. And Excel is an exceptional producer. And when I listen to his tracks
for
some
amazing.
reason. Yeah, thank you. A shout out to Excel. I wish I would have, what I should have did, Ghost? I should have let him know where he could have called in at some point during this. That would have been good. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that. I'm thinking about it now. It's too late. But
you could link us up and we could do an episode, and we could you and I could do an episode with Excel, and we can also
it'd be dope if you. It might be dope if you. Excel has a lot going on, so it might be dope for you to talk to Excel, but. You all can talk about this because something so special happened when we was creating this project.
What's that?
What happened, and when we were making this project, like I say, I got to Excel's tracks, and listening to his tracks, it made me want to just tell stories and like maybe have a little more fun. I was ready to so it was just the vibe of how his tracks were. I just wanted to have fun and tell some stories. And I came up with the idea of songs about girls based off the very first song we recorded. It's not the first song on the EP. It's just the first song we recorded. The one, Veronica. That's not the title. Veronica is the subtitle. It's do you have a track list? You don't have a track list.
No, I have. Oh, okay. Come on, now you have the track.
So the track list. Which one is Veronica? What's the name of it though?
Veronica is, let's see.
It's got a name. It's got another name.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the track. It's Let's Stay a While. Featuring
Let's Stay a While. Yes, Let's Stay a While. So Let's Stay a While, in parentheses. So in the parentheses on every song lets you know where the inspiration came from. So the song is actually called Let's Stay a While. So I just came up with this idea. I made everything on songs about girls are fictional tales. Now, when I'm with Abstract Mindstate, we always telling like true stories and keeping it real and close to us, or it'll either more than likely it's always us, our own stories, but sometimes we'll tell stories close to us, but they're always true. Yeah. With this one, I just wanted to have fun, and I pretty much got very creative and just made up a tale, and it's called Songs About Girls because every song is about a girl who's one of those names that was famously made known through hip hop. Yep. If you notice it,
I know Veronica. That.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I made a little tale up. So with Veronica, that was the first song we did. And when I told this story of this female that I was digging, that was Excel's girl, he already had the girl. And I just what dudes do, like how your man have a girlfriend, and then her friend is a cutie, and you like her, so you start telling, Excel, man, tell your girl that I dig her girl, and that was the whole basis of the song. It was one of those fun, like flirty kind of, hey, tell your girl your man's digging her. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's cool.
And that's where Let's Stay a While. And then I just, like I say, I built the whole story around that idea. Man, I'm going to tell you something, Ghost. Songs About Girls was so much fun to me because in the spirit of who I am, my name, Olskool Ice-Gre, I got to, I love when I get to pay homage to those who did it. Now, I don't have dogs, Ghost. I don't have any dogs.
That's me. That's my killer right there. Like,
I was about to say, I don't have dogs. Look, Hill Killer Hill. That sounded like some, I'm probably going to throw you off when I say Gigolo Tony. You probably don't know about Gigolo Tony, do you?
No.
That's an old school rapper. See, I'm Olskool Ice-Gre.
Hold
Gigolo
on,
Tony
no.
had to,
What's the name of
yeah.
the song?
The song is called "The Player." Is I ain't heard that song since then, but it's some barking in the song. He'd be like, "Hill, killer, hill." But
I
anyway,
know the song you're talking about now. It's some
yeah,
old,
Gigolo
yes.
Tony. I think he's from Miami. I
know I
believe.
have it on wax because I
Yeah,
know I
yeah,
have that because I got about
yeah,
20 of them, 20,000 of
yeah.
them. But check this out. Anybody that wants to ever come to my house unexpected and I don't know about you, I got a 120-pound dog that will bite the living shit out of you. And
Hey,
guess
it
what?
sound like it. What?
Who's that looking in my window? Pow, nobody now.
Blow.
Cujo will be on B-Boys Underground next week. But this week
Oh,
we got the one and
that's
only
a nice.
Cujo from Goody Mob.
Oh man, shout out to Cujo, man, a guy who I absolutely love and respect to the fullest. That Goody Mob movement was crazy. But
Hey, look, yes.
but
Back to it. Sorry about the
yeah,
interruption.
back to it. Yeah. So anyway, the song's about girls thing. So Veronica started everything off. So after we made that song, I had so much fun telling the tale that I didn't realize I was about to go in that direction until I did it. Then I said, man, what if I kept doing this? And the fun part that I think you will get a kick out of talking to with Extreme was, I mean, not Extreme, I'm sorry, that's my other guy. Excel is how much fun he had learning about everybody these songs that I was using as inspiration. Because he wasn't.
I wanted to know, like, so were you basing them? Is there any part of these songs that there's any personal?
No, we gotta listen. The Adult Contemporary Hip Hop series was about taking you through various chambers. If I'm speaking in my Wu-Tang slang, I'm taking you through chambers. Again, the first chamber was straight up boom bap, let's get to it, lyrics, beats, nothing else. This next one was all cinematic. This time, I'm taking you to the point in hip hop when we used to tell those tales, those fictional stories, and you know what I'm saying? And that's where and we you know, like Roxanne, like these people, they only existed because we made them exist through the song. So what I did was Veronica, Bad Boys, it's an old school record called, and the hook go, oh, Veronica, oh, Veronica girl. That's a real old school 80s joint by the Bad Boys featuring K Love. And I used to love that song. I'm a, you know, I think on one of our interviews I may have told you I'm like a proud historian. Like, yes, sir, I'm not like these kids now who only know themselves and what's you know coming up with them. Yeah. During my era in love for hip hop, you had to know about everything before you. You had to dig and learn. So I'm having fun paying homage to these records and songs that inspired me and had me loving hip hop, you know, at a time where it was so innocent and so fun. And Veronica, the song Veronica by Bad Boys featuring K Love, that's where Let's Stay a While came from. And I just started building from there, Ghost. I started saying, you know what? I'm going to keep this little energy going, telling these stories, and I'm going to keep using these inspiration of these songs, but I'm going to make the exploits happen between me and the female. And even in some cases in the original song, the female may have been bad or terrible to the artist, but in mine, she was a good girl and I want to have her instead of hating her. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's where, you know, it was fun, man. It's such a fun EP. And I like the response I've been getting to. A lot of people are digging it.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to it since, you know, you reached out, and I was like, yep. I was like, shit, this is dope. I love it because, you know, it's also something where I could put it on and listen to, and I was able to do a lot of work while I was listening to it. Like, you know, and absorbing it. Like one of those things that it's not like I can listen to it passively, but I can also listen to it with intent, and it works both ways. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I know what you're saying. Like, it's pleasant enough. It's pleasant enough to feel the background for you, but then it's interesting enough that when you switch the dial, you like, wait a minute, what did he say? And you might get a laugh.
Rewind that
or
back.
right, or
Yeah,
rewind that.
yeah.
Wait a minute, what just happened? And then, because again, think about it. What does that? A good story. Think about it. A good story make you say, wait a minute, what just happened? Or you know what I mean? So, and
Yes.
that's what songs about girls was always is about. And the obvious thing is the girls is just that's why all of the girls' names are in parentheses, because that's what the songs are alluding to, these girls that we learned through hip hop. None of them actually exist. I mean, UTFO helped create a real Roxanne, and then Roxanne Shante
Yeah.
responding to it created her presence. But
Yeah.
these were just fictional individuals that existed because of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like I loved going through, because that was the thing when you listen to each one of the songs. And so everybody knows, like, the title tracks, basically you started off with the intro.
Oh, I
And
want to
and
talk
I
about
love
that. I want
and
to
I
talk about that
love and that's how I wanted to start it off, really.
with
Uh
the spoken word.
with yeah, because basically, you know why did you open with an
With
intro
that,
instead of dropping straight into the first
and
full
to it,
record?
yeah.
Which I will say I appreciated listening to it, because for me, whenever someone does it, like with a preface, like, it's like, reading a good book, and you have like a preface, or a note from the author or anything like
Right,
that. It sets
right,
the tone, right? For
right,
me. So for me, it's one of those, it felt like an old school classic project, even in that
right,
sense. You
right.
started it off. So please.
Yeah, yeah. The spoken word intro. First of all, I thought the spoken word intro was necessary and cool for two reasons. One, I felt it was necessary because I wanted to literally intro everything you're about to hear and break it down in a poetic manner. Still a little abstract because I used all of these names and played on all this stuff, but really, when you listen to it, I'm naming every artist or that inspired the song. I'm using their names in it, and I'm giving you the explanation of what it was. Like, one of the coolest things I learned in doing this spoken word, and the other fun thing about it before I go into the explanation is, um, most people don't know this, but I started off before I was a MC. Well, before that, I used to write poetry. I used to write poetry. I never ever talk about that because I got friends who are Grammy Award winning spoken word artists, and that's their lane. And I just respect everybody's space. So I never talk about my days I used to do poetry before I was, an MC, and I'm talking young, very early on. But the point is, I thought, let me go back to that because this is a good time to use for the intro of this record to explain what I wanted to explain. And it's one of the lines that one of the dopest, like, metaphoric kind of, you got, if you don't know, you don't, you if you don't, if you know, I mean, is when I talked about Stetsasonics, and I said Stetsa, and I said something about the like Stetson and all of this and
Mhm.
all that. What I'm talking about is, if people knew the knowledge behind Stetsasonics name,
Mhm.
they named their name after the Stetson hat, which was
Correct.
looked at as a sign of quality.
Yep.
Stetsa was short for Stetson, which meant was a symbolized quality, and Sonic was their sound. They were talking once the group was doing music. So basically, Stetsasonic stands for quality sound. That's what that means. So that's why in the poem I said something about Stetsa, something about the cat, and then I said no cap. So that was my little kind of wordplay thing. No cap meaning cap.
Yep.
Stetson, the Stetson hat, cap, blah blah blah. So it's all that. And I said and then I broke down UTFO's name. Like, if people Google UTFO, to see what the meaning of their actual name is. UTFO is actually an acronym, but we never knew that. And I rather, I say it on the intro, but I rather let people say, "What are you talking about?" and Google it, whatever. But it's real cool. So stuff like that I got to do in that spoken word intro. So I basically set up in that intro through the spoken word. I set up every song you were about to hear song for song. It wasn't necessarily in order, but song for song. I talk because I said something about even Bad Boys Want to Play, but I'm talking about Bad Boys and K Love. That's
Yep.
Veronica. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a real cool, man. I had a lot of fun. All I can say is this was the fun EP. This is when I got to just squeeze my creative orange and let the juice of that flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's why I was very appreciative because I always take a look before I listen to anything because for me, part of I'm coming from the 70s and 80s and collecting records and vinyl and buying tangible physical pieces of music, and then also playing them in the club and actually having that piece of that actual record. And and when I and people and my kids don't believe me, but when I grab a record and
Right.
it's something that it's been with me for a long time and I've played a lot, or I played in the clubs, or there's always a memory associated that I can feel. That's
Right.
like it's there. There's something about. So what I'm saying is I always take a look at the artwork, and then of
Right.
course I go to the linear notes and or the
Right.
track listings, and was like, I had already seen. I was like, all right, I know where we're
Oh, the
going.
artwork, the artwork. I want to talk about that too. I'm glad you brought that up, but go
Tell
ahead.
me about the
Yeah, the
artwork
artwork.
about that.
So the artwork, first of all, anybody close to me know that and we follow each other on social media. You might have seen that I've
Mhm.
traveled to Africa a few times. And
Yes.
I absolutely love African women. I love them. I always actually been fond of chocolate women, dark skinned women, uh uh dark skinned black girls. They always have really bad stories of growing up saying how hard it was being a chocolate girl. And as weird as it sounds, I always been very fond of chocolate women. So when I thought about the artwork for songs about girls, I wanted to have like a variety of different beautiful chocolate women specifically on the album cover to kind of pull in the idea of these songs being about girls, and the imagery supposed to just make you want to attach a name to some of these faces you're seeing. That's where I was going with it when I put those girls on the cover, and calling it songs about girls, just giving you a visual to go with that title. And for me, I wanted to go with the visual that's the most aesthetically pleasing to me, and that's for you to see these beautiful chocolate women, and they're all like African women. So you know what I mean? So it's real cool. They're actually African, from Africa. So yeah,
Oh,
so that was, I put a little care into it, and I purposely put like that effect on the cover so it kind of makes it a little dark. So I'm forcing you to stare at them a little more, because I could have left it very clear and apparent,
yeah,
but
you could have.
artistic, yeah, but I was being artistic, abstract, it always goes back to abstract. So I put that little that little tint on it to kind of make you like you see them, but you don't see them. And look at the cover, Ghost. The more you stare at it, the clearer they become.
Yeah,
So it's
I'll
like,
I'll pop so people can see, like, because it's there in the middle as far as that
yeah,
goes, so they can take a look and see.
yeah, oh yeah, it's right in the middle there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see it. The artwork. Yep.
yeah,
So those are the girls to represent these songs that's about girls.
I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
love it.
man.
Yeah. So that's it. Again, the thing that I will always say about anything that you do, and also like you and EP do,
Yeah.
there's always multiple layers, not just
Yeah.
one, but there, you know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
truly an onion to peel back. And like if you
Right.
really want
Right.
to get and have an album that you can kind of like really do some sinking your teeth in and do some
Right.
learning, and
Right.
it's
Right. Some
always there.
thinking, a
Some
little
thinking.
thinking. Right. Me and
So
EP always said we created thought-provoking music. So even when I do solo work, I still try to carry the torch of like being thought-provoking. Even at the most fun time, I'm gonna still be a little thought-provoking. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, nah, man, that's cool. And I know you talked about it, but in my mind, when coming up with a project and everything, you know, what came first? Did the songs come first or did the concept come first? Or did it kind of like, was there anything like some bars or like a song or anything that was like because I know it was
Right,
part of the series, but when you
right,
were like, this is, I'm going to go this direction and this is the next piece of the puzzle and it,
right,
boom, why?
right. Okay, so add a little more detail to it. Like I say, Excel, when we did the joints, I was listening to some of his production
Hmm.
and I was just grooving to some tracks. And I was like, man, I like this. I wouldn't mind writing to this. And like I say, I played around and I ended up doing Veronica, just having fun because this track sound fun. So I said, let me hear some more. So it wasn't until um because I even changed the name of that song. Whatever the name of that song was,
Hmm.
it was something else. And then it was Let's Stay a While when I wrote the hook. He and I actually, me and Excel wrote that hook together. Yeah, we wrote that hook together. And I asked him to sing it because Excel is a artist himself. He a producer, artist. He's a singer and a rapper. So I was like,
Oh,
man, sing this hook for me. This is the arrangement. I would like it. And I kind of sung it for him first. And then he did it the right way, I like to say. But my point is that song and then me listening to more tracks decided like, okay, this is the direction I'm gonna go with the EP. I already knew I wanted to work with him for the EP. I just didn't know where I was going with it yet. So I would say his production spawned the song, which spawned the idea of the whole songs about girls thing. It took his track to make me talk about that one thing that made me say, you know what, I want to stay right in this lane and tell these exploits with the ladies kind of vibe. And
yeah.
I built on it from there. So again, shout out to Excel for providing the musical bed to inspire these stories.
And it's crazy that you brought that. You mentioned the musical bed because the one question that I had wrote down and I wanted to ask was like, again, I'm always sonically first. Like that's
Right.
where my as a DJ, as a
I
someone
was about to say that. I was about to say you a DJ.
I'm sonically first. I'm always
Right.
trying. I listen in layers and just I'm
Right.
OCD and got all types of Rain Man activities going on in my brain.
Nothing wrong with it.
But
Nothing
like,
wrong with it.
what what did you and Excel Beats want the sound of the project to carry emotionally was what I wanted to know because you know what I mean? You're not just like coming out
Mm-mm.
hitting people in the face with it like you guys are it's
Yeah,
you
it's
know what
laid
I
back,
mean?
kind of
Right.
cool in the pocket vibe. We were looking. You know what we were trying to do
What?
and when you deal with emotion, man, we
Yeah.
was trying to give you some uh relaxing. Uh, okay, I'll name places. I'll name like places I'm from or live.
Mhm.
When I lived I'm from Chicago. I was
Okay.
trying to give you some relaxing Lakeshore Drive, cruising down Lakeshore Drive, uh, at 7 in the morning on a Saturday before it's crowded, and you just relax, man, and enjoying the skyline
Dew
with
fresh
the
in the
you know
like
what I'm
you
saying?
can smell the
With the lake on the
yeah.
side. You know what I'm saying? That's Chicago. If I was in New York, it'd be the West Side Highway. You know what I'm saying? Same vibe with the water over there. Just relaxing, rolling before traffic gets heavy, or even real late when traffic gets light. Or if I'm here in LA on the what is it? I'm losing. I'm slipping in LA I'm
I'm
tripping.
not from LA,
Uh
man.
on
So
the
I can't
You take it all the way out to like Malibu and all of that. No, God dog,
Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah, Pacific PCH. Yes. PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. Cruiser down PCH. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to give you some, a break, some relaxation, but a vibe though, still a vibe though. You know what I mean? Like nothing boring, still fun and exciting, forcing you to pay attention to these stories and think a little bit. But it's so relaxing. Like what proves that is you told me that you was cleaning up or something like that.
No,
like
I was working. I mean? Like, so I've been listening to it because again, like I listened to it over and over and over and over and over and over. That's just kind of the way that I learn it. And then as a DJ, I'm also always thinking about, like, especially nowadays, like how can I do mashups, right? Like I'm always right. What, like I'm always blending, mixing in my mind. What's this gonna go with? How can I flip word plays? There's my transition. Go. But regardless, and it was just enjoyable, and I just was like, all right, connecting the dots, and there was a lot to connect from. And again, like you mentioned the Renee song, and you snuck it.
Renee.
Right? Like the one Renee, I want to know, because like the title's A Lost Boy, right? And of course, if you know anything about Renee and you know anything about the Lost Boys, Renee is one of their most well-known their tracks. And rest in peace, Freaky Ty. I did get a chance to meet those guys and do some street team work for them, and hung out with them the whole entire day when they did that whole project and did the concert in Cincy. And but some dope cats. But like, what was it about that song for you?
Yeah, A Lost Boy. So A Lost Boy, what was I don't even remember the track number. A Lost Boy, and that's 6. Renee.
It's track 6.
Track 6, A Lost Boy. So again, me being creative, the song was by The Lost Boys, but Renee was a very emotional moment. Okay, so it's a lot of people have been around me, have been dealing with cancer, unfortunately. Some
Even
people
me.
have actually
I'm a survivor.
That's what Ghost.
And I'm fighting too. So
you took So F cancer. You know what I'm saying? You took the words from me. I was about to say, remember we spoke like nowhere around camera, just me checking in and seeing, you was remembering, I knew what you was dealing with. So cancer is something that's been just around me with friends, associates, loved ones, like people were dealing with cancer. So when I got to Renee, and if you think about the Lost Boys video for Renee, that kind of in the spirit of Aaron Hall when he made I Miss You. If you remember, that was the first R&B video where the female main character died in the video. And that freaked a lot of people out, because she it was. Do you remember how freaky that was when it was like it was like, yo, did you see the Aaron Hall video?
The first time I saw that, I was like, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is crazy.
It was like, yo, what's happening? Did she die? So, but then think about this: when the Lost Boys did Renee, that was the first time a female got killed in the video. And we was like, yo, he telling this story about this girl he fell in love with, and then it was like a botched robbery in a bodega, and she got caught in the crossfire right as he was like at their highest point of being in love. He's probably finna marry her, and she got killed.
The beat was just so like,
the beat was so eerie. It was that
somber.
It was so and it was so somber and slightly eerie, but very hip hop, right?
Yes.
So when I made A Lost Boy, which was playing again, me just having fun being creative, because it was the Lost Boys who made it. A Lost Boy meant that what am I gonna do without Renee? Like, what can I do? And my Renee, because I just shared with you what you were going through, what very close friend of mine was going through, and even some friends that I lost, they lost their lives to cancer. So I said in this
Both my
story,
grandmas.
yeah, man, rest in peace to your grandparents and your both grandmas. But
Yeah.
My Renee died from cancer. If you listen to, I know you did. And I say if you listen, I know you did. But to the audience, when you listen
Yes.
to Renee, I tell this story about me getting closer and closer with this girl, but she was having such a good time with me that she didn't want to reveal to me that she was that she was dealing with cancer.
Wow.
And I didn't realize I'm dating her during her last days. And right as I'm like at my happiest with her, and she's having what seems like her best time, she dies. So you see what I'm saying? So this record is not just like I'm not wasting time with you. I'm actually, and I can say that was probably one of the whole tale. Once again, it's a completely fictional tale, but I pulled energy from real life experience, you know what I'm saying, for me to be able to like go there with the pen to talk about something so serious as losing somebody to cancer, or somebody, transitioning because of that disease. So I'm a lost boy without Renee,
And I'm gonna say, when I was making notes about each song and putting thought about it, so the word association that I put with Renee was vulnerability.
Right. That's a great word. Vulnerability. That's a great word.
You know what I mean? So I was thinking about Sally, that's a warning.
Yep. Yeah, right. Cautionary tale.
That's a cautionary tale,
Right.
Latoya, that's distance.
Right. Yeah.
Yvette, that's admiration.
Come on, man.
And
hey, hold on. Now remember LL, not to cut you off. Remember LL's Yvette, he didn't care for his.
Nah.
When LL made, yo, Yvette, there's a lot of rumors going around. So bad, girl, I might have to skip town. Like his Yvette was like a floozy. My Yvette was, I wanted her. She was amazing. But go ahead.
No, I know. I mean, like that. And then, so Veronica was comfort.
Somebody peeped that I was rocking the low bucket joint. But okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, so again, thinking about how he did that, and I know we didn't talk about Latoya yet. Let's talk about Latoya.
Latoya.
And the whole
hey, you know
thing
what?
about keeping distance.
Yeah, man, Latoya was one of those ones. What's the name, the real title? I'm sorry, I don't know any of my titles. Love from Afar.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that says it all in the title, right? I'm digging you from a distance. You are not good for me. Like, but I'm man enough to admit that, man, I'm into you, but I can't do it because I already know you are a black widow. You are dangerous, Latoya. And so I was inspired by the original gangster hip hop, Just Ice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just Ice. And what's funny is, by my name being Ice-Gre, that's why it was dope in the poetry. Once again, I said sometimes some people call me Gre or Just Ice. Just Ice, and so I was playing off his name, but saying sometimes you can call me Gre or Just Ice, Yeah. But so I had, like I said again,
when I go back, get hit. Didn't he pay homage to Iceberg Slim?
Did he play? I'm not sure about that, but
I'm
do
wondering
know
if it was like a play off of again.
I'm not sure. I never knew any kind of connect with Iceberg Slim with him. He was. I was a huge Just Ice fan. Me and my man Ant Chill. As a matter of fact, Just Ice. Earlier in my MC days, earlier in my first group, I was in a group called Peace Posse. The reason we was called Peace Posse, Ghost, is because if you remember, at the end of every Just Ice song, he would always say, "Peace."
Yo,
After every song, he would end it with peace. He was part of BDP. Those who watching this and not familiar who Just Ice is,
listen,
him
man.
and KRS-One was a 1-2 punch early on in both of their careers, and he was down with the BDP posse. And Just Ice, the reason we became the Peace Posse was because we loved Just Ice music so much that we used to be in high school. It was a brother by the name of Jason Garrett that graduated with me from CVS, Chicago Vocational High School. Jason was the one that really gave my very first group their name, because we was like we couldn't think of a name, and we were all in English class. And Jason saying, "Man, y'all always hollering peace all the time. Won't y'all just call yourself the Peace Posse?" And we was like, "Man, that's dope," because it was that whole thing. But anyway, Latoya was my version of telling the story about a girl that's not good for you. So I'm just watching her from a distance, and she's trying her best to sell me on the things that she sold others on. But I refuse to bend or buy into whatever she's trying to sell me. I even have a line on the song that says, I think I end one of the verses that say, "But I ain't buying nothing you're selling, Latoya." And I said it like Just Ice, because if you remember the old school hook, Just Ice, his Latoya, all it said was Latoya. That's how that was like the hook. So I did that in mine. And again, man, it's me paying homage to these MCs and these rap artists who I thought were amazing, that I was really into their music, during the formations of becoming Ice-Gre, or really understanding who I was going to be as an artist. These are some of the, the Just Ice and the, and all of them, and then by the time the Lost Boys and all that, all of this was just all of this was early. Some of it was earlier, some of it was later, but it was all inspiration during the time, but before I was able to put a record out for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and look, man, I'm gonna let y'all know again, as I was saying.
Somebody, I'm sorry, I'm reading the things on the bottom. Somebody said, "Dang, Latoya, Latoya, Just Ice, Latoya, please Google it and get up on Just Ice, the original gangster of hip hop." But go ahead, sorry about that.
No, I was just further you further putting a stamp on it. You just put a period on it too. Was the fact that, listen, there's so much to unpack when you listen to any one of the Abstract Mindstates, Olskool's records, EP's records. Like, y'all have always put so much thought, effort, and time and concept. And that's the thing that I appreciate, because like, even when I was doing music with the folks that like I was doing music with back in the day, I always wanted to make sure, like, what's the concept? Like, before, like, what is it that we're doing? Like, because like, if I'm making a beat, I would be the one that would kind of like, all right, here, this is what I got an idea for, and give me I'd play the track, like, here's the concept. What do you guys think about it?
Right.
There it is. Like, you know what I mean? Because I did try to produce, and
okay.
Yeah, so like it was just one of those things that I appreciated, always having something that had tags and there was a theme. It wasn't just someone flossing or just
right.
I mean, there's times where you just get on there and spit, but for the meat and potatoes, I always like telling stories or having I mean, even to go to the down south, and like my love for the gangster of like hip hop, like the Ghetto Boys, Scarface.
Yeah, like Ghetto. Oh man, come on, man.
Come on, like the
who was an amazing storyteller.
Listen, that is Mr. One Brad Jordan, Scarface. That's a dream interview of mine, and he is like, it's Ice Cube and Scarface. Like I have multiple ones, because like my top 10 is all ones, so that I hold everybody in such high reverence, and I believe that there doesn't have to be a pecking order. You can love everyone and there's also moods, and there's times and
Yep.
circumstances, right? And
Yep.
eras,
Yep.
all of that. Let's like
Right.
Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and all of these different
Exactly.
Magic debates.
These different eras of greatness, you know.
Correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, that's getting off subject, but to get back to going into the tracks, I want to ask you about why did Roxanne feel like the right closing statement for the EP?
Because
okay, there's intent.
I
want you to explain this in regards to this, and I'm hoping everybody's listening to this as we go through this, and we're gonna play some songs. But
right, like why did that close everything out? Right. Again, sonically, Roxanne, what's the actual title of Roxanne?
What I Like.
What I Like. Yeah, that's what I like. So I'm gonna tell you a secret about that song too. I got something funny to say about that song. That's What I Like, Roxanne, it's the last song because of how melodramatic. Do you hear how dramatic that track sounds? It felt like if songs about girls was a book or if song about girls was a book and you were going through chapters, that track, the melodrama of that track sound like the final chapter. It's just like, duh, you know what I'm saying? Duh, duh, like it sounds like the end, like it's going off after this. And that's why I end up being last, because of the sonics of the song.
Yes.
Not even because of the conversation. It was the sonics that sound like I'm putting this story to bed right here. You know what I mean?
It sounded like the conclusion.
It sounded like, like the end. You know what I'm saying? And what's cool about that song is shout out to Excel for pushing me to a place I definitely didn't want to go. But I'm gonna tell you something you ain't know about that song. Bro, that's me singing in that hook.
Word?
That's me singing the hook. Yeah, that I did not. So let me tell you, I sang the hook as a reference for a singer, right? And then the person that I wanted to sing it didn't want to do it. They just wasn't feeling it. And it's just like that sometime, right? Yeah. So I said, okay. And Excel kept on saying, man, won't we just leave your vocals on it? And I was like, nigga, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't sing. I'm not about to put that out there like that. He was like, Gre, I really like it though. He said, look, this is what I do. He said, let me play with it. Let me play with the EQs and, like fix it up a little bit. And, we'll throw a little bit of a little tuning on it.
Correctly the way it was intended.
And I'm talking about auto-tune. That's what I was about to say. He said, let me do a little auto-tune the correct way, not the thing that became
T-Pain
and T-Pain not even here's
T-Pain's
the thing, shout out to T-Pain. Let me get this out. Let me get this out. I'm saying something. T-Pain doesn't use auto-tune. T-Pain used the vocoder the way Roger Troutman did. That's a whole different. He doesn't. People just say auto-tune because that's just became like the trendy thing to say. T-Pain was using things. T-Pain is incredible. So he used the vocoder, and that was
extremely gifted.
Yeah. So so Excel used auto-tune the correct way, meaning whatever mistake was made, because the story is it was a mistake, and an artist starts doing their thing with the auto-tune on, and it created that funny little sound that we know now as auto-tune, and it's normally not supposed to be recorded. That's just the sound of how when it goes through that system. Well, the real auto-tune just corrects bad notes. That's you know that. I'm not telling you anything. The real auto-tune corrects your bad notes. So because I'm not a singer, he said, let me EQ it up. Let me really fix it up a little bit and throw a little auto-tune on it for the areas that was bothering me, where I was what I would say hit bad notes. And then he also backed me up with a few ad libs. So it's a few ad libs in there where he, he filled in to kind of bring it all together. So that was a fun song because I refused, man, to sing that thing. I was like, we not doing that,
You're like,
Excel.
no,
But
no,
no, I'm like,
you
no.
fought it the
But
whole way.
it's one of those moments, man, where sometimes I tell you what I am, regardless to my tenure or my experience or me, being even an A&R myself. I'm also an obedient artist. And when I'm working with producers, I know how to fall back and allow myself to be produced. So sometimes it's
Wow.
fun
Yeah.
to just take your hands off the wheel and let the pros who are experts at what they do. That's what makes the collaboration special. I wanted to leave room for him to be exactly what he is, man. That brother is a platinum Grammy winning producer. So I said, let me just take a chance with you, Excel, and get in this car, and I'm gonna let you drive. And I fell back and I let him do what he did. And when he did what he did to it, I heard it. I said, wow, that's not awful. Like, it's not as awful as I thought it would come out. And again, Ghost, it was very hip hop to me once I heard what Excel did to it. It became more like a how whoever that was singing on Three Times Dope, I make you weak at the knees, remember that?
Yeah,
Make you feel like, and it's not so much it's not so much that he had to
because it
sound
wasn't
his best
Steve,
like a
but it was he was
no,
just, yeah, it
wasn't.
I remember.
It was whoever that was that resung that, who I can't think at the time, or just like a TJ Swan on all of Biz Markie's records.
Yeah,
Like, it's not about how
nobody.
great. Yeah, it's not about how great it sound. It's about the vibe. And by the time Excel did his thing to it, I actually caught the vibe, and I was like, you know what? This is hip hop. I'm cool with it, Excel. And I had to thank him for pushing me there. It kind of reminded me of what happened to me with Day Underscore on the second installment of my adult contemporary hip hop series, the one that was called The Uncompromising Path of the Nice Guy. Day Underscore pushed me to record the last song on that. Originally I was like, oh no, this track is a little too commercial for me. I don't want to. I was really, and he was like, man, you told me you was gonna let me produce you, Old School. So man, trust me, I think you should write to this when I hear something that I think you will complete if you just go ahead and do it. And I did it, and he was right, and I ended up writing what was actually a very good song. But that was the last EP. So back to this one, man. That's what I like. What became the last song, because it was just sonically, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sonically, it sounded like the end.
Nah, that's dope, man.
Because I was telling, this was a story. This was songs about girls. It was like a book, It was like more than a movie. The last EP was more of a movie. This one was like a book,
No,
it's like if you open
the last one was a. If you're talking about the art, I felt
no,
like,
not the art. No, not the art. No. My EP.
Your last EP.
My last EP, the Uncom, because this is a 4-part EP series, and we're just on 3 right now. And the Uncompromising Path of the Nice Guy was the second installment. That was the one I said that one was very cinematic. I was creating a movie for you. This one was me storytelling. We're taking it back to hardback books, not reading it on a tablet. We're going back to the days of turning pages through the book, and that sounded like the final chapter of the story. That's what I like. Roxanne, and shout out to UTFO for that inspiration.
The one thing that I wanted to ask you was, why did you put the very first song that you recorded in the very middle of the album?
Because again, so one of the things that I feel like I'm good at as an A&R is sequencing, right?
Yes, sir.
And again, everything is driven by the music or the sound bed, because when people the first round of hearing any record, people are barely listening. They just enjoying the music. And the second time, and the more they play it, the more they get into lyrically what you're talking about, or lyrically where you're going with the story. But in the beginning, they're just enjoying it. They're just trying to hear it. So in terms of what I feel like, and this is me, I just feel like I'm a master at sequencing. When I was doing that, I do this little mathematical. I talk about it in a lot of the interviews with the Abstract Mindstate project about this, and EP knows about this. Like it's kind of like a mathematical equation I came up with to perfectly sequence any album, and it's based on the sound of the record. And when I did my little mathematics on this one, it just so happened that Veronica fell right in the middle. You know what I mean? But by the time I did the math on it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I did the math, Veronica fell in the middle. And so it's funny because it was the first song I recorded. It could have kicked it off, but it didn't work with the mathematics. And then, you know, once I heard it all together, even Excel said, "Wow, I like how this flows. It has a nice flow." And that's the thing about sequencing, Ghost. You want a good flow. That's why, because I've heard several albums. Let me admit this. I can say this because it's not a diss. I'm not taking jabs. The first time I heard the Blueprint 2, you know, and I was there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at Rockefeller with Kanye then. So when I heard the Blueprint 2, that was a double album, and it sounded like, I just was like, man, it was too. This is me honestly complaining. Oh, it's too many songs. It sounds like I heard the songs. I felt like I could have picked and chose and just made one solid good album. And then it took me, I'm just gonna say, 10 years later, I poured it out again, and I listened to it with a different ear without any expectations. And I was like, wow, you know what? This actually was a good record. It just was a lot of good records in a bad sequence. I
Gotcha.
felt like I felt like if he would have took the time, and Jay was
Put
so
it
hot at the
together.
time, to put it together and really put more time into the sequencing, it would have flowed more like how the J. Cole album sounds right now. J. Cole has this double album out now. It's
Yes.
24 songs.
Yes.
24 songs goes, and shout out to J. Cole.
Shout out
That
J. Cole.
record flows. We talking about sequencing. I'm gonna keep the focus on sequencing. J. Cole's record flows so good from beginning to 24 songs later end that I know he took a minute to sequence that record because it feels too good. It feels right. So
It
I know
feels
he
like
put
they're
the
leading into one
yeah,
another, just like yours do. Yes.
yes, he's taking you through the story, and he is taking you through a story. And as an A&R, I know for a fact he took time to sequence that record, and that's what we're talking about right now. And that's why Veronica fell in the middle, because it was all about the flow of the sequence, and it happened to fall right there mathematically. When I yeah.
And so you bring up two questions, but it's one kind of in the same. Whereas you mentioned as an artist,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you have to basically
Fall
release
back.
fall back and give, you have to pick and choose when to allow others to
Yeah.
control, right? So
Right.
you know, you mentioned where you're like, okay, I'm gonna be vulnerable and I'm gonna trust somebody to go ahead and do this,
Right. Take the
and
wheel, so
listen,
to speak.
right, and
Yeah.
listen to some feedback and criticism, but also in regards to sequencing, right? I
Mm-hmm.
know, like, there's artists who can write songs and songs and songs and songs and songs, but thematically
Mm-hmm.
they're not necessarily, you know, they're not necessarily connected. They're just individual works or
Right.
pieces,
There are a whole
right?
bunch of individual pieces. Right.
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 And so you've got to pick and choose to put, you know, everything in order. And
Right.
whose job is it at the end of the day when it comes to sequencing? Because you spoke to one of my, like, love languages as a music listener, because that was always the one thing that I judged an album on back in the day, So you could give me dope songs, you give me dope singles, you can be
Yep.
an amazing storyteller, everything. But if it didn't flow, where I
Yeah.
just could throw my CD on, my album on, my tape on, whatever it
Right.
is,
Right.
and let it ride, right? And again,
Right.
going back to as I was listening while I was like, let it ride.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make me feel irky jerky, and I'm not like I just
Yeah.
let it
Yeah.
ride. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then hit repeat
Yeah.
again, and here we go
I was
again.
just about to say that. You said it. When it's a good sequence, you play it again. Cause sometimes sequences are so good,
They
it feel
loop.
like it feel like it ended fast. And you be like, wait a minute, that was over quick. And then you'll go look and you're like, oh no, I heard everything. Let me play that again. That's a great sequence forces you for repeat play.
Yeah.
It forces it.
And
Yeah.
you were just over 22 minutes and under
Right.
23 minutes
Right.
on this.
Right.
Was that intentional as well?
Yeah. I said that because you know what's funny is if this was something that I was like, oh, I want to make sure I can submit this for the Grammys and all of this stuff, then I know it has to be at least 30 minutes of music. That's a requirement in order to register your song. So for those who don't know, I just dropped the gem. For your song to even be qualified, it has to at least be 30 minutes for your project. I mean, it has to at least be 30 minutes long. So I could
Gotcha.
have put some stuff in between there, but nope, that wasn't the point of this. You know, this is again the adult contemporary hip hop series is more about me touching all of the various aspects of what adult contemporary hip hop means and story. This was the point of storytelling. When I defined adult contemporary hip hop in my proposal that I submitted to the Grammys, one of the tools that I said it has to be storytelling. You know, whether it's from I said in my proposal, I said whether it's from a street perspective, fictional or non-fictional. Is storytelling is a part of this thing that I call ACH. And we're at that point in my series now where it's about the storytelling. That's why it's so heavy on stories, because I'm also playing on my adult contemporary hip hop series idea. So I'm giving you another, again, I'm speaking in my Wu-Tang, another chamber of adult contemporary hip hop, which is storytelling.
Yeah,
So
man. And I love it. And you said this is part 3 of a 4-parter,
of a
right?
4-part series. So it's one more before I close out this whole adult contemporary hip hop EP series. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
have you started working on it yet?
No, I haven't. And it's funny because well, put it like
Do you
this.
have the
I've got
idea and do you know what it
I
is?
have the idea. I have the idea, and I actually have some tracks that's supposed to be the next one. I already have the producer and some tracks. You know, it's actually one of my Chicago brothers. I'm gonna save his name for, you know, later and we're gonna build on it. But
Yeah.
I already had the tracks and I've been vibing out, you know what I mean? So I know where I'm going because I already have the title of it. So I'm a build the the EP around the idea of this title and just find the right tracks to go with where I want to go with these, with you know, with the lyrically.
You know, so once you close the series out,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any ideas as far as what you have on the plate? Like, do you have a roadmap beyond this, and you know where you're heading, and like what are some of the
Yeah,
things that you
yeah,
can share with us in regards to the
yeah, yeah,
plans for your career?
yeah. So so this is just me as a individual getting my thoughts out, you know, just from my perspective. And the next thing, well, the thing that's always a constant is EP and we're always working on touring the Abstract. You know, we want to
Mhm.
tour the art project because we've gone
Oh
on a
yeah.
few, yeah, we've gone on a few tours, but we have yet to tour the art project in
Okay.
full. We did a week run in the UK with Slum Village, and
Yep.
we got to do our set was all art project, but we didn't get to do the set like we did when we hit Europe with them. We were still performing Dream Still Inspire, and we had like a whole show. So we're looking forward to, so what's next is after I get this last series out, me and EP is just constantly working on trying to get out here so we can tour the art project again, an album that's not even a year old. You know what I'm saying? That album, it still hasn't hit 12 months yet. So it's that. EP is gonna work on her EP. Look, EP is gonna work on an EP. I was joking with her earlier. I said you should call yours EP's EP. I was being silly, but
You down with EPP?
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? You down with EP? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So those are some of the things, as well as I'm about. You hear me. I'm really into. You hear me? Like I say, I'm very fond of what's going on in Africa, and I'm really getting like the Afro beats, and I'm a piano and all that. I'm really, really extremely fond of I'm a piano and 3-step coming out of South Africa, and I have some intentions on working on some things in that area. I don't want to put any
Afro beats.
Yeah, Afro beats, and I'm a piano is really. I like I'm a piano and 3-step even more than Afro beats, because I love Afro beats. I love it, love it. And that Afro beats was birthed in Nigeria. That's a West African music. But I'm a piano coming out of the South Africa, out of Soweto, specifically in Johannesburg. I'm a piano and 3-step is basically, as the creators of it said, and it makes me understand why I love it so much. They said it's pretty much just house music slowed down with African rhythms. And I was like, yo,
exactly
that is why it is. Is that it? Yeah. And I got that from the creatives. Yeah. I be watching interviews and YouTube stuff on the people who created this music. And that's what they said. As soon as they said that, it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, that is why I love this so much. I'm from Chicago. This is house music. I say, I get it. And I get it why it touches me like it do. So I want to do some things where I'm a piano and 3-step. And I'm not talking about necessarily me as an artist. I would love to, but no, I'm talking about I want to work with some, with some artists, I'm a piano. I want to, there you go, Ghost. I want to step back behind the scenes again and work with some artists in that genre, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about from there. I don't want to taint it and be halfway with it. I want to work with some South African. I'm a piano authentic, artist, real. Authentic. Yeah. So that's if you say the next thing, that's what I'm looking to do, to get into some other sounds and break away from us and our little bubble that we're in the US, man. I like world music,
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, music, regardless of where it's coming from, its vibration, its tone, its rhythm,
there you go,
its feeling, its emotion, and its vibration. It's
frequency. It's frequency.
Yes, and it's all speaking to parts of you. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Sometimes
right. Okay, so let me say this too. I love the whole Afro beats and I'm a piano 3-step thing because it's high frequency music. It's hitting your higher chakras, and which is the area it makes you feel good.
Euphoric.
Like it's very euphoric. I mean, even hearing one of my favorite artists is I said that all crazy. One of my favorite artists out of that genre is an artist named Ciza, Ciza. He made that song 6 a.m. Asaka. Asaka Lavu Gaye, Asaka Lavu Gaye, Asaka Lavu Gaye, Asaka Lavu. That's my joint. And that song, where all of it makes you smile. You can't stop smiling when that music is on. You dancing and you doing your, man. It basically, man, I'm just stressing that it's high vibrational music, and that's where I am as a human being, man. I just really don't want to deal with anything low vibrational in my life at this point, Ghost, at all.
I,
everything has to be high vibrational chakras, bro.
and that's one of the things that uh, you hit on that I think comes from maturity and wisdom. Because I, as I turned 50 just at the beginning of the month,
Congratulations.
so I'm in my fifth chamber, you know what I mean?
There we go.
So,
there we go.
And I've been, been very just taking index of everything, and it is one of those things that if you attract what you spend time on, right? And
Boom.
what you think about, what a
Bars.
man thinks about, what a man, speaks, comes into existence, is power of life.
Yes,
And
sir.
regardless
Manifestation.
regardless of holy text you listen to, subscribe to, there is always the same
Premise.
sentiment and premise in the fact
Right.
that what you think, what you believe, what you meditate, what you attract and you become.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that someone who is fighting out of depression, and this has been one of my labors of love, and I've been able to connect with so many dope individuals and have, just my thing is always wanting to have a dope conversation with people about hip hop and their love, to get to know about their love and their reasons and their why, and then also to be able to give flowers where flowers are due and everything like that. And it's all through music. I've always connected with people through music, regardless of whatever it is. I mean, I sit down and talk to people, and whenever I sit down and have an opportunity, like with someone, my icebreaker is always going to music.
Yeah,
I'm always singing something. Someone will say something, and it will automatically trigger. Like, I was in the hospital. Like, my wife's still in the hospital. Much love to Mama Boogie. I love you.
Yes.
I pray.
All praises to wifey, man.
She heals well. And,
good energy. Send her healing energy to wifey.
Yes. But I was clowning with her nurses because her nurses were saying stuff, and they were hitting like it was so funny. It's these young nurses that would not even know anything about, and just trust me when I say they would not know anything about Gangstar. Okay. I started hitting them with Gangstars. I was like, and I said, I'm so sorry. I was like, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, man.
I said, I'm a DJ, and I just hit you with some. Anyway, proceed. Like, you said something that was dope.
Nah. Look, man. I want to say this since you touched on that music. I'll just say this, and I always stressed it, and it's something I learned early. Music, is probably one of our purest things because it sees no color, it sees no ethnicity, it sees no race. Like, hey man, music is the one place, and I'm gonna call music a destination. That's why I say it's the one place. We're gonna let it be a destination. Music is the one place where all of us can chill, and if we like the same song, we best friends.
Yes.
You think of you know what I'm saying? Like, think about concerts or festivals, and you have a group of people, and they all partying and having a good time.
Diverse groups of people.
It'd be a very diverse group of people jamming to this one song. And I'm not saying it's only one, but it's the music brought, all these different types of people from different places together, and nobody cares about anything except for the fact that we all like this music.
Yes.
So it's the only place that doesn't see any. That's why I'm protective with at least my music. I can't police music in general, but I can police my own music. And what I mean is, that's why I refuse to feed you trash through my music, because I know how powerful music is. So I refuse to just distorted or like me and EP. It's funny. Somebody just said something about music being food. Me and EP always used to say our music was food. It said poor
Absolutely.
kids. The music is not as exactly. The
But hold
music
on.
is not as
Soul
nutritious.
food.
Soul
It's
food, exactly,
man.
and that's exactly what Goody Mob. You look plugging Cujo again. Goody Mob when they made soul food, I look at it as I know they were saying like mentally they were feeding you that good soul food, and that's me and EP like as artists as Abstract. Our whole thing was always food. I remember Common made a song called "The Food." You know what I'm saying? And
Oh yeah,
we
that
can
was off
you
of
you know
B.
that was
That was off
off
the
of B,
album B, which is a
yeah,
crazy common
which is
album.
a crazy
That was the Kanye album.
yeah yeah. I
Were
got
you
I got
involved? You
a
were involved in that.
I got a plaque for B. It's in the workspace over here. So it's on the other end of the wall, the B plaque. But
Did you have? What did you have? Can I ask you? Because that is,
yeah.
I mean, Common is again. I hold him in high regard. Like,
Oh man,
Com,
please. That's one of my favorite artists.
my
I'm
God, like,
friends with him. I'm happy and flattered to be able to say that's actually my friend. I can
wow,
actually
man.
call
Give
him and text him and he'll respond. And he's an amazing artist, bro. Common is one of those lyricists that uh he moved me and EP early in our group, and he never stopped touching me, so in terms of his sound, his artistry never stopped, filling me up, you know what I'm saying? And
mhm.
I'm happy to call him a friend, but at the same time, man, I'm a fan of Common, you know what I mean? So
I have to tell
yes.
you that I had like when the album that her came out, right? Uh it I remember the day, the time, everything, and like my homie was like, "Yo, have you listened to it yet?" I was like, "No," and he immediately put boop, 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 went right to it. He was like,
Right.
just, and he was like, "I want you to listen to it and see if you know where it's going." I was like, "All right." And like, and then of course I was like, I got the idea, but I was just like, and then at the tie-in at the end, I was just like, at
Yeah.
that point, but the sonics of everything,
Yeah.
and like it it was super muddy too, like the mix on that, like, you know what I mean? Like as a DJ, I always have to re-EQ that one just so it's because I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
re-EQing it on the fly. But like
Yeah.
I but
Uh,
B is a masterpiece in regards to just the flow of that,
no, it
the
is.
sequencing of that
Yeah,
album.
that
Like,
sequence again, sequencing that
woo!
album. That album was sequenced so well, man. Common did a great job, with
Yeah,
that,
much love,
and it.
much
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mad
Much love to
respects
him,
and
but
props. Yes,
yeah,
Chicago.
yeah, man.
Y'all,
Chicago.
y'all have some of the. I've always been a humongous fan of the majority,
Chi-
if not all of the MCs that came out of
yeah, man.
Chi.
Yeah, soulful. We're a soulful place,
Yes,
Us in Detroit sitting there in the middle, man, and we heavy on the soul, Uh, and
yes.
it's just been fun, man. And like I say, songs about girls is just a moment for me to get off that, and it's soulful too, and
Oh hell yeah.
you know, you know what I mean? And Excel, I can't wait till you talk to Excel because like I say, I was trying to say that I kept sending Excel to the not the drawing board. What do I want to say? I sent him to the research center. Like every song we were doing, he was like, "Wait a minute, so what you doing here? And why is this called Latoya?" And I'm like, "Man, it's this artist called named Just Ice." And he had,
So
and so Excel, I sent Excel down a rabbit hole, a Google rabbit hole, and he would call me. Like it was so funny when the framework that I had pretty much laid down the framework of the album. Excel started calling me every day saying, "Yo, I'm listening to these Just Ice albums. Man, this dude is incredible," because he didn't know about Just Ice. Or he like, "Yo, I'm listening to, he just I'm way more hip hop than the average individual. Like my knowledge and information goes pretty deep. And let's just say he was doing a lot of researching through songs. He'll tell you about songs about girls, and he was going down the rabbit hole learning so much stuff. And he said, I'm having so much fun doing this project with you because I'm learning so much. And that felt so good, because when I think about who I am as an artist and what Olskool Ice-Gre actually means as a name, and what Abstract Mindstate stands for as a duo,
Yeah.
that's it right there. When he was doing that, I was like, this is why I do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was really a dope moment for me to send Excel to the, what I call jokingly, the research center. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's funny, as you answered one of the questions that I had that I wanted to ask you, but it's like, what part of the project do you think younger artists will miss if they only hear the title and they do not hear the writing? You know, and it's one of
Right.
those things where, again, if they're a younger artist,
Right.
you know what I mean? There's
Yeah. And I think, and then you know what, it was one of the things that happened with the Abstract Mindstate come return album, The Dream Still Inspired, was our return after a 16-year hiatus. And we underestimated the youth and thought, oh yeah, this not for them. This is for the golden era heads that love what we loved and grew with the music. And it turned out that a whole fan base of young artists was really engaged with us. And we was like, wow. And I remember jokingly, not what I'm about to say is, I was serious but joking. I was apologizing a lot, jokingly apologizing, serious about the apology, but joking about it, saying, man, I underestimated the youth gravitating to this music, because again, our music is very thought provoking, and it's so much, it sends you to the research center constantly. And so, the thing I would hope, if although you didn't ask me this question, I would say the thing I would, if you were to ask me, what do you hope to get out of this EP? I would
Mhm.
say I would hope to send a lot of younger artists and listeners, not just artists, but fans of hip hop and rap music in general. I
Yeah.
would love to force them to go learn about all of this inspiration that drove this EP. Go learn
Yeah.
about these guys. That was the whole point of it. Like, make you go find out who Diamond D is. Make you go dig up Stetsasonic. Make you go learn about UTFO. Go find out who Just Ice is. You know what I'm saying? Go learn more about the Lost Boys. Go find out what LL Cool J was doing before he was on television. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of kids that
Man,
only know him from TV. You know what I'm
that's
saying? And they don't
crazy.
know.
Or
Yeah, they
Ice-T.
only know. Yeah, Ice-T. They don't realize that Ice-T and LL had a incredible, foundational, legendary career before they hit television. And I would hope my version of Yvette would make them want to say, wait a minute, he was talking about LL had an Yvette. When did LL do Yvette? Because even if they know an album, they only know how to go back 10 years with LL. But in order to learn about this, you got to go back about 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So, if anything, man, I just would love to inspire the younger listeners to go to the research center, man, which is basically jokingly me saying Google. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And look, again, one of my favorite uh KRS-One. You must learn.
Yeah, you
Like,
must learn. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That was
like,
on Edutainment, wasn't it? Wasn't
yes,
that on the Edutainment album? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Chris is one of my favorites as well. But yeah, you know what I'm
Boogie.
saying? Like, hey, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So there it is. So man, Songs About Girls was just a fun project. It allowed me to expand my my story. Like we was talking about when you brought up Scarface, all of the greatest rap artists of all times are incredible storytellers.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you get into it, it's it is the LLs, it is the Slick Ricks, it is the Run DMCs, the Ghetto Boys, the Ghostface, these storytellers. You know what I mean? Like it's several more. Like one of my favorite albums during the golden era was Prince Paul, thieves, was it Prince Among Thieves or something like
Yeah.
that. And it was the whole it was a cassette for me when I got it then, but the whole record was one long. He literally made a almost like like the way I said I wrote a book this time, and these are just chapters in a book. He literally did that. Like each song, you remember Prince Among Thieves?
Hmm.
It was like a movie. It was from beginning to end. It was like one long, and it was so dope. And that just never, that again, that was storytelling at its finest, And he did it from a producer standpoint and just put it together with the artist. You know what I'm saying?
And you mentioned
So
that
yeah.
that's another call back to sequencing, right? And the way that he did it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that that's also something that has been lost on the way that things are consumed.
This
I,
whole digital. Go ahead and say it. Digital.
the digital platform.
We lost complete projects to digital, and that's why everything is
Yes.
going back. I jokingly say the machine finally ate its own head, and now we're going back. That's why wax is selling more than downloads, and people are back to buying EPs and I'm sorry, back to buying CDs and
Cassettes and
cassettes again
yeah.
because man, people didn't realize how much their brain has been overloaded with this digital system, and they want to get back to turning the pages of this book. They want to stop scrolling with their fingers and touch these pages and turn the page and actually see the ink on the paper again. So metaphorically speaking, and that's where we are now. Like the music has gotten a lot better. That's why a lot of the artists from the golden era are putting out really good projects right now
Hmm.
because if you're a true master, you can do it again, and that's why Nas's records sound so good still. That's why, you know what I'm saying. That's why that last LL project was so amazing. That's why MC Light's last album was just as good as her early work. It's because
Listen,
these are
man.
master architects, but now finally the industry then ate its digital head up so bad that we had to get back to ground zero. Now you have to actually rap again and tell some stories and talk about some. And so we're getting these great projects, and hopefully songs about girls will become one of those conversations.
Because you mentioned that, and my question to you is like when people hear songs about girls 10 years from now,
Hmm.
what do you want to age well? Like,
Yeah, what I want to age well. I'm
mhm,
hoping. My hope is that uh, my delivery, my sound, and my intention stands the test of time. Like 10 years later, it doesn't seem contrived. It doesn't come off any, it doesn't, it still feels very, I'm hoping 10 years from now, the authenticity still remains, as it did when I created it just this year. You know what I mean? Or
yeah,
last year. I created it in 2025 and I released it this year. So yeah. So that's what I would
absolutely.
hope. I would hope 10 years from now, the authenticity and that vibration of whatever you're feeling now, it remains the same way. Same way all of those projects that inspired it. When I put the Diamond D Psychotic Neurotics that album on and play Sally Got a One Track Mind, it feels the same as it did the
I love
day
that
it came
song,
out.
man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what.
That
So my
beat
Sally
too.
is a, yeah, yeah. My Sally, on songs about girls, my Sally, I merged the two together. I used Sally Got a One Track Mind and Sally from Stetsasonics and made
Yep.
it a,
That.
pushed it together. And man, that's why I say Sally got a one track mind. The people don't like the way she walk, and that's Sally got a one track mind. Don't matter. And
Yeah.
then Sally some people don't like the way that Sally walks,
Well,
you know, and
yeah.
I just I created a hook off of both of their hooks. And again, it's just a salute. It's me paying homage and showing respect and love to a couple of stories that I thought were so incredible at a time in hip hop that it made sense to fit into the adult contemporary hip hop series to take you back to this storytelling, but you know, just a 2026 version of what inspired me, you know?
That's dope, man. And you know, if we were to play a song, I know we don't have visuals, but we can go ahead and still stream it. Is there a song that you would like to play?
Yeah, you know what? Play you know what? In the spirit of good energy of everything, let's play. No, you know what? No. Let's go ahead and play A Lost Boy. Why not? Let's play A Lost Boy.
All right, so give me a second to get that queued up. So again, we've talked about Lost Boy a little bit. Is there anything else that you can add to give the folks a little bit more color, or anything that you can add to have them listen for, or you know, as we go through?
Man, just really, I would say, it's pretty fun if you pay attention to the intro, the spoken word intro, and catch all of the nuances and everything I alluded to before you get in. As it goes into the record, you can appreciate what I did. I think the intro sets the tone so lovely that I would just ask that people, you know, don't skip that intro, because the intro, some people just skip an intro. I think you should listen to my intro because it really sets the tone for what you're about to get into. So, yeah.
So we're going to we're going to listen to Renee, A Lost Boy. This one right here, I hope y'all enjoy, because I know I do. And I'm getting it queued up on. This is getting, there we go. All right. So let's get in here. Here we go, y'all.
My summer fun, my winter nights, bed for breakfast, meat for lunch, the dinner type. Who would have thought that I get caught in the hype of the pinky lock beach walks and riding a bike? But there I stood with her, just my type. Her answer to every problem, it'll be alright. I mean, she never once led with emotion. I ain't joking, her logic was deep as oceans, equal to her devotion. We wide open, country to country, outside the US. Her looks plus the way that she smelled, she was too fresh. Her faith was in God and me, we were too blessed. Never played games to test, she was above stress. Sexy as Columbia Nights, that's my nay-nay. And Shreveport like Hurricane Chris, still my baby. I'm happy as a calendar year, she like a born day. But if we talking government names, hers is Renee.
I can't live without you. This lost boy that found you, deserted and bound to live without all the joy that is you. I wish you come back, 'cause I need you, I miss you, Renee.
Strong as an ox, this girl got love on every block. To see her move, she naturally smooth, it's cool to watch. So much respect for what we had, stayed on lock. It's wild how she pops in the scene like Alfred Hitchcock. Life without you is crazy, that's what she said. An empty space where my heart was, voice in my head. I can't believe this whack disease can supersede perfection at the highest level at such a rapid speed. What I need no longer is a conversation, when all I feel is frustration and desolation. Will I break or break something? My situation, reeling from the pain, the heartache, the aggravation. Out of control and helpless is the worst feeling. I can't be strong for a family when I need healing. A loss for words, I can't muster a thing to say. But F cancer, I'm a lost boy without Renee.
I can't live without you. This lost boy that found you, deserted and bound to
Ice-Gre.
Available on all streaming platforms, including YouTube Music and everything out there, y'all. And look, I know we are. How are you doing on time, my friend?
I mean, I'm cool. I need to get to it though,
Understood. I just wanted to give people a little bit more opportunity to hear another track or so.
I would like to play. Yeah, I want to play. What? Tell me. I'm tripping out over here. I can't think of my titles.
I'm like, all right then. Like, hey, look, that's the reason why.
Because I know what I want to play. I want to play.
Like, you've got basically. Let me get.
You know what I want to play? I know what I want to play. The Sally. Sally, because that was kind of fun. What's the name of the original, the real title of it?
Sally is A Cautionary Tale. Give me one.
Yeah, second. Cautionary Tale. Let's play that one. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. And is there anything else that you can add for the folks to be able to, listen for, or anything like, as I always say, set the table before they.
You know what was dope? Like on some lyrical. I was listening to her when we just played a Lost Boy, Renee. When I said her faith was in God and me. We were too blessed. That's two. God and me is two. So we were too blessed. Like, it's just little play on words that I be like, do people be catching this stuff when I said
if they're paying attention, yes.
Sexy as Columbia Nights. That's my Nene, Renee, Nene. In Shreveport, like Hurricane Chris, still my baby. Hey, baby. But anyway.
No, I get you, like, baby.
I'm gonna throw my hip hop. I'm gonna throw my metaphors and all that stuff in there. I'm gonna play with it. But yeah.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Emria Aura, because she's been donating with bits, loving the show, and she's from Australia. We got Australia tuning in. Much love to Australia.
Shout out to Australia. What's her name? Amira. She just gave love on my colors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She was like, that's that Aussie thing. Man, I love Australia. I've gone to I visited Sydney and Melbourne. I want to go to Brisbane, but yeah. Shout out to Australia.
And my bro, Vinny, I believe you are in Cali. He added it to his after hour playlist.
Yeah, man. Vinny, thank you, man. Songs about girls. Let them know what it is. Thank you so much. Salute, Vinny.
Canacita in Limbo, which is my co-host on my other podcast. You might know us. Shout out to her. And she's also a streamer. She was digging it too. She plays bass.
And, love.
Bass, and she's teaching herself how to play. I'm sorry. She plays drums, and she's teaching herself how to play bass. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. I had to say, Amira let us know that she lives in she was born in Melbourne, but she lived near Brisbane. So I heard I need to get to Brisbane, because Amira, I went to Sydney, me and my guys on the guys trip. And because it's the capital, we thought that Sydney was like gonna be so popping. Mind you, I'm from Chicago and we're into architecture. Sydney has the most amazing architecture and landscapes, right? But I had the most fun. In Melbourne, and they was telling me that Brisbane is popping too.
But what was dope about
it? Man, Mel.
I have always wanted to go to Australia. It's a dream of mine to be able.
Yeah, Australia's.
To go over there.
Put it like this: if I would have known what I learned, I would have gave more days. We spent more days in Sydney on mistake, because we thought, hey, that's the capital. We're gonna need more days there. But we should have had more days in Melbourne, because Sydney is.
You were on a tour over there.
No, well, not the tour. I'm talking about. I went for a guy's trip. Like,
got you.
We was going over there just to have fun, and it's kind of slow in Sydney. Sydney is not a place that's. Melbourne has like the craziest off the chain nightlife, like, wow. And I heard again, I was hearing that Brisbane the same. So, but Sydney is a little slow, bro. Sydney, no disrespect to Sydney, it's a beautiful place, but I'll be honest, we did 3 days in Melbourne and 7 days in Sydney. I definitely would have did it the other way around. We should have spent 7 days in Melbourne and really after the first day in Sydney, after I saw all that architecture and went on a couple of tours and ran to a couple of places, I was done with Sydney. Sydney was a little bit boring. Melbourne was off the chain. We had a great time in Melbourne. And like I say, see, Amira is jumping in now saying it. They said Brisbane. They said I would have had just as much fun in Brisbane. So if I could do it again, if I could suggest this to my brother Ghost, I would tell you, Ghost Boogie.
I'm a family man, and I ain't
listen.
I got kids
I'm saying,
and a wife.
I'm saying even for the. Trust me, listen.
Ride slow, homie.
Listen. I'm trying to tell you, for things to do.
Understood, though.
You want to go to Melbourne and probably Brisbane. I haven't even gone because it's just more to do. It's more to.
I'm not trying to go to the clubs and stuff, man. Like,
but it's just more to do.
I'm not.
It's just more to do, bro. It's more to do.
Got you.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it just wasn't much to do in Sydney.
No, I feel you though. My kids would be like, "What the hell we doing here, Dad?" Like,
it was like
chilling.
after you see the Opera House and all of those like those super landmarks like that, like the Sydney Opera House and all that. It's not really. Anyway.
See, look, no. She said bring the Melbourne.
I'm trying to tell him, Amira. He being a little hard headed. I'm trying to speak from a guy who actually went, and I'm trying to tell him.
I've died twice. There's a reason I'm hard headed. I'm stubborn.
My fellow ball head. You know what I'm saying? my fellow ball head. We in the Onyx crew together.
Look,
let's get to the song. No, let's get to the song,
man. We got this ready. Let's go.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
Yeah, this is a story about Sally. Y'all heard of this before. I mean, you know, it's a few people that don't like the way she walk and know she got a one-track mind. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Sally. So similar to a snake, the way she slithering and moving. Ain't no point to be proving in what she doing. I mean, she fresh, so fly, stay dipped, always the clothes nice. But shallow as a puddle with water, ain't worth the rose price. My thoughts, why I roll the dice? I got caught up every window that we pass on Rodeo was getting bought up, looking stupid while I stare at her butt like I get it. Knowing I ain't with it, the curves and smile did it. I'm more hypnotized than Biggie in 97. I need to pack my feelings and run. Call the Reverend, this demon that's known for scheming and seemingly clip the clutches on me. Soak like I fell in the tub. These rubber duckies on me. Power that she has in her eyes is like Medusa, Apollonia, but way past 6. A sex shooter, I'm a mover plus a shaker, a groover, never a loser. But Sally got that ooey hoover, I can't maneuver. Sally got a one-track mind. My people don't like the way she walk. I said Sally got a one-track mind. The people don't like the way she walk. I mean Sally got a one-track mind. My people don't like the way she walk. I said Sally got a one-track mind. My people don't like the way she walk. The way I'm touched by this lady, they think I'm crazy. All my friends don't even see me no more. I'm picking daisies on the daily. I be living life hazy, stuck in a deep trance. Clearly it's transactional love disguised as romance. I'm sipping on that witch's brew, and it's wicked, trying to break the spell I know she put on me. I admit it, I'm conscious but unconsciously driven by something monstrously addictive horizontally. Sorry for speaking honestly. Word on the street is her modus operandi. Although it feels like I'm the focus, I'm just the next guy. Next high, next try, next to apply. Next she gon' be asking for a trip to Dubai. We reached a point where I had to reply goodbye. Unfazed, she gave a look like why ask why. A black widow with no post to comply. It was what it was, but I can't deny that Sally got a one-track mind. My people don't like the way she walk. I said Sally got a one-track mind. The people don't like the way she walk. I mean
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man,
Yeah. There it is, Ghost.
look, man, if y'all don't know, now you know. There's so much more for you to know, and there's so much more for you to check out if you don't know, man. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is always an honor, a privilege, and a blessing whenever you, bless us with your presence and your time. And it's just, it's so great to be able to talk hip hop, and especially with someone who absolutely takes this as serious as you do. And it is something that has saved my life and has always been a constant in my life throughout my life, and very much a passion of my life. And as you, as someone who is a creative in this and has had so much hand in a lot of things that are iconic, and also making iconic music yourself, it's just thank you and much love to you. My hat's off to you and everything that you got going on with your future endeavors. I wish you nothing but the best of blessings, luck, and fortune, man.
Man,
Salute
thank
to
you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate all those kind words, and definitely the sentiment right back. Salute to you exactly. And I just appreciate the platform to be able to share, my art. I just appreciate the platform, and you being ahead, and it allows it makes it all that much better, man. So thank you. I appreciate the love, as well as I'm equal with you on the art appreciation, and I'm definitely even that much more grateful for the love.
Well, hey, man, thank you again. And make sure you guys follow the one and only Olskool Ice-Gre. Run
Yes,
those
yes,
numbers up. Spread the
yes,
word.
man.
Spread your word.
Yes,
If you know a hip hop head, or even if you don't, and you say, someone that says that rap isn't their type of music or anything like that, challenge them. Send this to
yeah.
them and be like, here you go. Tell
Check
me
out this songs about girls.
let me see if this changes your perception on what actual
Exactly.
hip hop is, because there's something called adult contemporary hip hop, which you need to get
Yes,
down
man.
with. ACH, salute.
Yes. ACH. Shout out to ACH.
And with that being
Man.
said, we are out of here. Much love to each and every single one of y'all. Stay positive, persevering, pushing in the present, not in the past, not in the future, right now. Much love.
Peace.
And we are done.
Man,
you.
there it is. Oh, no problem, bro. Look, I got about eight calls that came.
I'm sorry,
I gotta
bro.
make a lot of. No, it's cool. I just gotta double back. So, man,
Yes, sir.
thank you
I
so
thank you.
much.
I wish you
Man,
nothing
this
but
was
best